Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Aaron and welcome to another sort of Convallaria video. Now in this video, as the title suggests, I will be talking about the battle pass for the game. And Sword of Convallaria is 2 days before release, so I'm gonna be giving you guys some guides before the game releases so that it may be helpful on the day 1. Now, with that being said, let's get straight into today's topic. As we look at the battle pass, there will be weapon selectors at a certain level, in this case level 25. Now, are the weapons worth it? We'll get to that later. But first, we have to see what's the maximum level for the battle pass. So if you go straight back, you can see there's a lot of materials here. But it only stops when you reach level 50, that's where you stop. Because afterwards it's just gonna be just coins. Okay, now coins, I can't say they're irrelevant because they are still used on a lot of resources, but let's see if the materials up until 50 are gonna be worth your money. So it goes all the way up to 100, which it will give 6,000 coins after level 50 per level, so it's not gonna be that impressive. But let's see what materials you get before level 51, which is until 50. Now if you take a look at the final one here, you can select these. Now these are the materials you can select from this chest. So essentially this is a chest for a variety of material. So this one in particular, this one is gonna be your elevation chest. Elevation chests are used to get your character to the next level when you hit that requirement. When I say that, as in characters, once you reach 5 levels, you will reach another stage as mentioned right here. So every single elevation, they will buff the character stats by some, but at certain levels they will give you additional skills which are going to be very important for the end game or progressions through the stories. Now I can't say it's going to be mainly focused on end game, but they will be fairly important as you go on in the game. Now back to the battle pass, we can see that they give some materials at the start. It doesn't look too much, but once you get past to level 10, this is when things get a bit bigger. So as you can see, the coins before, they give you just 5,000, they double it and give you 10k, and then the paid version give you 20k exp. This is gonna be a lot for your starting in Sword of Convallaria. Now this battle pass is definitely good when you start the game because you get a lot of materials early on and it will help you progress the game significantly faster. So if you ask me, I personally think this battle pass, for its materials worth, I feel like it's gonna be worth it. Also at certain levels, they will be giving you some of these hope look sites, so notifying this is definitely gonna help a lot if you do want a gacha. And also this is a random tarot. Basically what I mean by that is tarots are like your equipment for your characters. So I'll go into in depth on what characters can do, but this tarot will be unlocked after you clear stage 3-1, story 3-1, and you'll be able to equip these to elevate your character to a higher level. Now as we move on, we can see there's a lot of materials here, and you may notice there are some chests here. Now what are these chests, you may ask? These chests are your elevation materials. Now you can select any of these materials for your characters, and as I said, these materials will be very important when you need them. So do not skip these. If you do have the chance to get a lot of these, definitely keep them. It will make you building your characters a bit or way more easier than you might expect. Now this one is used for your weapons. So there are 4 different rarities. So common, uncommon, and then rare, and then of course finally legendary. So if we think about it this way, it's SSR and legendary for these two. So they give different amounts based on their rarity, but of course the last one is always the valuable, but we don't use it early on. So don't be hasty when it comes to picking these, thinking that you might need this material early on and you're gonna choose all of this, but you might need the lower tier materials first to even get up to a legendary tier. So don't be hasty and pick all of the legendary materials you can get, because it might just brick your account and you might be able to not progress better. So now with that moving out of the way, you can see there's a lot of these crystals here. Now these are not essentially crystals, but these things, you get them by recycling your legendary weapons, which I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but there are some weapons that are not as good, so we are free to recycle them. But these materials are absolutely scarce because you won't be able to recycle a lot of legendary weapons because you may need them for a lot of characters to try and progress. Even if it's a bad one, you have to use it on someone just to get the additional stat boost. So early on, legendary weapons will be scarce and they will be very important, so make sure you keep hold of them. But until then, if you do buy the paid battle pass version, you will be able to get the material that you get from recycling your legendary weapons, and these materials you'll be able to use them to exchange a variety of materials in the shop, which I'll get to that a bit later. Now, reaching level 25, these are the weapons that I'm going to be talking about today. So this is essentially for the assassins, this is for lance users, this is for the berserkers, or fire I like to call it, the bow, and the staff. Now, all of these, they have different stats based on their class. So if you look at this, the dagger, 450 base attack, 142 defense, 95 magic defense, and 948 HP. So if you go to the lance, it's a bit different, as you can see. So lancers have 429 attack, 165 physical defense, 82 magical defense, and 885 max HP. So this goes differently for each of these weapons. They just have different basic stats based on their class. But here's the tricky thing, okay? All of these weapons have the same passive. So each of these weapons have the same passive. By that, it is when action starts, if self is in a healthy state, there's an 80% chance to recover 2 energy, or if self is near death, 80% chance to recover 30% of HP, cooldown 2 rounds. Now, this might seem helpful, but there are a lot of weapons out there that are way better than this. But this doesn't mean that they are necessarily bad weapons. These are actually decent weapons. They're not too bad, because if you get the tank version, so this axe belongs to berserker class. Now, this weapon gives 1000 HP as a base stat, which is significantly good for your tankers to actually take damage and then still deal a good amount of damage, because the base attack is also not that bad. And again, if your tank is very healthy, healthiness means if your HP is above 70%, you will get this status. So when your tank is 70% HP above, the tank can actually recover energy very quickly by 80%. It is still a chance, however, but it is 80%, so chances could be common, we don't know. But this could be helpful for your tanks and maybe possibly for mages and support, but not so much for your assassins and also bow users. Assassin and bows are designed to have more DPS than others, so it's not required for them to actually have these skills, because these skills are more fitting for tanks, supports, and maybe mage that gives support, basically sub DPS mages and support in their class. Now, is it recommended to get the battle pass and to aim for these weapons? My answer is yes. Why? Because early on, okay, keep in mind, I say the word early on, okay? Early on, you're not gonna have that much legendary weapons. As I said before, one of these weapons is gonna help you clear a stage one way or another, because at some point you might get stuck on a stage because it's too high of a difficulty for you to clear, and enemies will level higher than you might expect for the past. Okay, in my experience, from chapter 1 to chapter 2, the level between each enemies gets significantly higher than current level. For example, my highest level is 15 right now, but if you go to chapter 2, starting chapter 2 until the middle and until the end, you may notice the enemies are not even level 15, they are higher than 15, which makes things difficult for you to try and counter them or even deal damage, because they're either they're either tanky, 2, the assassins just one-shot you from behind, and 3, the mage has a big AoE that you can't have enough defense or have enough healing to sustain yourself, which is going to be very bad and it's going to hinder your progression, which I do not want it to happen on any of you guys. So these weapons are going to be good early on, so you're free to get the battle pass at the early stage of the game, because they're going to be helping you progressing to the game a bit better. Now again, this is just my opinion, so feel free to not get it because one, you do not want to spend, that's fine, but this is for people that want to spend, okay? Alright, moving on. As you can see, we still get a bunch of materials, but the materials do get doubled way higher after level 25. So as you can see, you get a bunch of materials after that, which I'm not going to be covering all of it, but there is one thing I want to cover, which is this material right here. Now, this material is absolutely scarce. You do not want to waste it. Why? Alright, let me tell you. That material allows you to unlock an additional skill based on the same tier of your elevation. Now, as you can see, you need this material to unlock a second skill. So, you can unlock additional skill for that same tier of your elevation, and you might benefit from it if you wanted to change. But because this material is very scarce, it is not advisable to waste it at some characters that one, you either sim for, of course, because you want the character to be absolutely maxed. That's fine by me. But this material is going to be very useful if you accidentally pick the wrong one or you regret your choice. You can use this to unlock the secondary skill on that same tier elevation. So it might save you in the future. Do not waste this material. It is very important. And keep in mind, again, this material is very scarce. You can't get it anywhere else besides either limited time events and the battle pass. Only these two ways you'll be able to get these, unless there are some story quests that gives you a one-time mode of these things. Otherwise, this material is not found anywhere else. So be careful not to waste that material and be safe out there, okay? So with battle pass being out of the way, I'm gonna show you the materials you can use for the exchange shop. Alright, so here's the exchange store. Alright, as you can see, this is what you can use from the battle pass. So this material you get from the battle pass, along with this also you get from the battle pass, and this is what you can get. So you can exchange for a random legendary equipment box or a legendary weapon box. Alright, so these is gonna be very important, as if you get these for free, you get yourself additional weapon. You may get lucky and got the good weapon for your character, but you may sometimes get unlucky to get the bad weapon for your character, because either they are not suitable to equip, different class, or they are just absolutely bad. So now the equipment box, this is very important because equipments are absolutely broken here, and they are called trinkets. I think that's what they call. So they're called trinkets. And also weapons are not going to be that scarce, as you do get a lot of stuff at the start, and equipments are essentially just a higher grade of equipment that you can get at the end game, or if you're lucky to get it early on, it's gonna easily clear all the content early on, and you're gonna have a smooth journey in the game. Now, I covered all of this, and to close up the entire battle pass scenario, I personally think if you just start off the game and if you want fast progress, battle pass is definitely worth it. Now, what are the benefits of getting the paid or the higher paid version of battle pass? So we always get this, right? So we get the basic all battle pass rewards, including the paid version, but when you get the higher version, you get 10 levels, included all of the battle pass rewards, and you can also get additional discs. So these are basically just furniture you can decorate in your lobby, and also 3 single pulls, which might not seem too much, but it is what it is. It is still a limited item. So my opinion, for low spenders, definitely just go for this, because getting 10 levels earlier definitely could boost your progress a bit more. But if you feel like the entire thing or the entire rewards after you buy this stage of battle pass is not worth it, then do not. Just buy the lower tier one. It's just enough, because there's a lot of, again, this is what it meant, there's a lot of level up materials for your weapons and your characters that are definitely worth to get. So with that being said, this will be the end of the video. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any feedback on the video, or you want to correct something what I said in the video, definitely leave it in the comments area below. I will read all of them, and I will correct myself if I say anything wrong. But feel free to leave your opinions in the game or in the comments area below. Sorry, I didn't mean to say in the game, but off the game. And yeah, just let me know what you think about the game, the battle pass, etc. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully that clears your mind about the battle pass, and I hope you have a good journey in Convallaria. I'll see you guys on the launch day. Peace. Peace.